Hey, new realtor, do you have an upcoming purchase, maybe representing the buyer or the seller? But we're going to give you 5 tips that you need to know to help you through the real estate process concerning those dreaded home inspections right after this. Five home inspection tips strictly for realtors. I don't care if you're a seller's agent or a buyer's agent. You can flip-flop them depending on the situation. Hi, my name is Adam Ashba, Hondros College instructor of real estate as well as broker of Ashmont Realty. So let's start with number one. The number one tip is attend the home inspections with the buyer. Okay? Because what's going to happen is when the buyer goes out and does their walkthrough, they can walk with the home inspector as they point out any issues. They can smell it, touch it, feel it, and they're going to get a better understanding. And that home inspector more than likely will put them at ease. I know a lot of realtors think that maybe home inspectors kill deals, but that's not necessarily true. What you don't want is not attend the home inspection and we get an 80-page home inspection report in their email 3 days later because they didn't attend, and then you're having to go through and try to decipher what issues are with that report. It doesn't work. Don't do it. Attend the home inspection. 2, when you're out during the showing for the first time or second time, even if you got to make a second trip, do it. Point out the obvious. If you see issues on the house or the house is 50 years old, point out things that are obvious, which is going to lead us in tip number 3. Have some basic understanding of home maintenance. So like on tip number 2, such as know the lifespan of a roof. If the house is 80 years old and it hasn't had a roof replaced 40 years ago, you clearly should know that a roof is probably going to be needed to be done. When it comes to HVAC, make sure you know that some units can go about 20 years before they need some work. And as well as a hot water tank, typically those last 10 years. So make sure you have some basic understanding on life expectancies of HVACs, roofs. There's things that are going to be expensive for your clients. Now, when you're going through the walkthrough, make sure you point those things out because it's not fair to the seller when you put in an offer and then you do a home inspection to say, well, the roof's old, it's going to need replaced. Of course it needs replaced. You were there, you were looking at it. It happens all the time and it's a deal killer. So if you're a listing agent, find out if the buyer and the buyer's agent's going to be attending those home inspections. If they're not, you better let them know that your seller's not going to be doing price reductions because they have existing units such as a furnace and roof, things that can be clearly visually seen when they do their walkthrough. Don't do it. Don't let the buyer's agents push you around on some basic information that they could have pointed out to their buyer. The last and 5th tip that I'm going to give you is mentally prepare your buyer. Okay? When you're buying a home, I don't care if it's a new build, there's going to be issues with homes. Make sure that you mentally prepare your buyer when you go out to the house to do the inspection, that the inspector is there to point out everything that's wrong with the house. Everything. That's their job. That's why you pay them $500 to go out. Make sure your buyer is mentally prepared. So when the home inspector is just blowing the home up, going over all these issues, you could say, yep, I know, Adam told me that. Or, you know, I'm prepared. I know the furnace was old and I knew the roof was going to need replaced in a few years. And that's why we made an offer under list price to compensate for those issues that are coming up. So I hope that helps, giving you the 5 tips when it comes to home inspections. So make sure you practice it so you don't have those 1 out of 20 deals that get canceled due to home inspections.